Let's identify the key features of this function and then identify the type of function. First of all, the domain of this function. The domain of this function is x belongs to the real numbers. The range of this function is that the y values are less than or equal to the y values of these points here. But it's greater than or equal to the y values of these points down here. So the range of this function is y is less than or equal to 1.5, but greater than or equal to negative 5.5. Next, the x-intercepts. We have quite a few x-intercepts in this window here. There's a total of 14. Here they are. Note that some of them were approximating the value of them and their location on the x-axis. The y-intercept, we only have one. The y-intercept is 1.5. The maximum value of this function occurs at those points that we looked at earlier when we were discussing range. The maximum value of this function is 1.5. The minimum value of this function is negative 5.5. Lastly, we're going to look at the period of this function, and that's a hint as to the type of function we have here. The period of this function, I'm going to draw a box around one cycle of the function. A cycle is the part that's going to repeat that generates the regular cycles of this entire graph. So the distance from the beginning of a cycle to the end of that cycle is a total of 3 units. So the period of this graph is 3. Also, the amplitude of this graph. Amplitude is calculated by finding the difference between our maximum and minimum value and dividing by 2. The difference between the maximum and minimum values is 6, and so the amplitude of this graph is 3. Now, what type of function do we have? This is a trigonometric function.